This playthrough is rated T for teen.
Are you ready for some goodies and what's left after the game? Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare here with a bonus episode of Ratchet Clank. In the last episode, we beat the game, Drek is defeated, his planet destroyed, and we, keep our friendship and go off to do whatever. So after you beat the game, you can restart the game from scratch or right before you fight Drek. If you start the game from scratch, one new thing that it pops up on Novalis, which is the first planet you go to outside the required stuff to find Clank, is this thing pops up. Yeah, it teleports you to the gold weapon room, so let's take a look at that. So yeah, it's just an easy, you just have to either start a new game or on challenging mode or start a new game plus or whatever on this one. So we got gold weapons for everything here. So I believe this room would have the other weapons, but I already bought some of them before, as you can see there. So, all right, so let's buy the Tesla Claw. Look at that thing. So, yeah, it shoots out, does more damage, shoots out a green beam on everyone. So, very nice. All right, let's see what this one is. The Devastator. And unfortunately, you can only get to this room after you beat the game, so there's no getting this ahead of time. So, yeah, it does a lot more damage, and yeah, as you can see, a lot more. It splits out the explode. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like you can see a little extra thing, so it does more damage because more explosions occur. So very cool. All right, let's buy the Mind Glove. All right, so I didn't really use the Mind Glove too much in the previous game. I might have to go outside to show off like how that actually works. We'll check back on that here in a second. So let's buy the Morpho Ray. Yeah, I'll show that. I'll show what it actually does here in a second. So, but let's buy the Decoy Glove. All right, that yeah, see now, looks like Ratchet's gone old alternate universe, or was it the Negaverse, or what was it in Star Trek where the evil versions of themselves? But yeah, but he's he's a lot more sturdier, and I believe it also blows up for more damage. Let's see if I can show that off before we show off all the goodies, because there's a lot of goodies you can unlock after the game's over. So, all right, let's see if we can show off the him defeating that guy. Well, hopefully someone starts attacking him so I can. Great. Can we actually have you hit the guy? There we go. I'm waiting for him to actually destroy it so I can show off what happens if you really blow him up. That might take a hot minute. There we go. Yeah, it actually blows up. Before, it would just blow up but wouldn't actually do damage. So, alright, let's show off the, let's see. Oh yeah, Morpho Ray. Let's show that off. Look at that. It turns into a big chicken. Well, that's a view. And they show off the smaller ones. Yeah, and before it used to be like a really tiny chicken. Now it transforms into a very large chicken instead. Yeah, look at that. But okay, what was the other one I didn't show off? Let's see. Oh yeah, what was the where is it? It was the Mind Glove. There it is. Okay, let's show off what that does. Yeah, it's a much bigger explosion and pops the guy up when you do it, so very nice. All right, let's go back to the ship. Oh yeah, I don't have the jet version of Clank right now, so I was trying to do the jetpack, and I was like, oh wait a minute, I can't do that right now. Okay, and yeah, we don't have our ship, so I can't go anywhere else. So, all right. So now, after you beat the game, you unlock the goodies pack here. So what the goodies pack is just other stuff you can see. So you can watch the credits again. You can check the skill points if you're missing any, and this explains every single skill point. So if you didn't know how to do it in the main game, then this gives you a chance to finally figure out how to do it. So if you didn't have a guide or anything like that, this tells you how to get every single one. So yeah, how to chance 4 guys beat the race, which I've all done. This just shows you that I've done all of them. So for those who want to know, I mean, there's plenty of guides online, but how to do it. So yeah, if you're missing one, it'll obviously not be marked off, and you can go do that. So All right, credits. Watch the game again. Use cheats. You can toggle off and on. I don't have any set right now. We got the cinematics, so you can watch every single cinematic in the game, which is cool, as you can see here. So look, yeah, quite a few cinematics. So then you got the in-level movies that you get for when you go to certain islands and stuff like that. So, or planets, I mean. Then we got the sketchbook. This is just what their concept art. I'm always a fan of sketchbook stuff, like what was it before it became their finalized. Although there's always a few times where I'm always like, man, I wish I kept like some of the earlier sketchbook versions of a character. But you know, in the end, it's probably better to do the finalized version. Most finalized versions I've noticed are usually very clean. Original sketches are usually very rough, or they look a little bit more unique. But the problem is, they're usually harder to animate and stuff like that. So that's why they go with a more cleaner look. These are some of the concept sketches for Ratchet. We decided early on that he would be a bipedal alien creature with fur, and if anyone asks you, Ratchet is Lombax. So I guess they thought he was Lombax even at this point in the game. I didn't know if that was something they added later. This is Clank in his many forms. He even used to be an alien at one point. Clank too went through many forms. He was originally even younger looking with a bigger head and a smaller body. In fact, at first Clank was three much smaller robots, but in the end we decided use just one so that we could develop his personality more easily. Yeah, I think one robot's better than three. Alright, there's Ratchet and Clank together. And here we have the final sketch for our two main characters. Ratchet came into existence on paper for the first time within 2 weeks of the initial idea for the game. Final sketch was done about 3 months later. And there's Fort Krontos on Battaglia came from Top Sketch. We wanted to create forested islands under aerial attack. When we turned it into a more tropical fort, kind of the way development goes sometimes. The bottom sketch was one of the many from which we stole pieces from various levels. Alright, then we got another sketch pad here. Each cliff-hugging structures evolved into cliffside machinery you can see in parts of the logging site on planet Eudoria. They were originally part of the populated city, but we decided to make this a robot-only area. This is an element from the robot factory exterior on planet Qwark. The factory is this planet is where Clank is made at the beginning of the game. Too bad there wasn't much more to be done about his mom or anything like that. It's just kind of like, oh, hey mom, thanks, you're proud of me, and that's it. So, and she never, as far as I'm aware, she never makes a reappearance later in the series. So it's like, okay. I mean, I know she's just a production line, but you know. The top sketch is an early drawing of Blarg Depot on planet Gaspar. The bottom is the production design for Blackwater City and planet Rilgar. Very nice. The bomb factory at planet Hoven was derived from these sketches. Our original idea was the inhabitants were mining ice and shipping it off-world, but then we decided that the Blarg should invade and convert all the processing plants to munitions factories. Blarg equals bad news. Bad news bears. A hanging power source for one of our factories. Can you guess which one? I don't know. Actually, it looks like, oh, well, it's Gadgetron because of the symbol on the top there, but wasn't it on the Core 2? But maybe I'm misremembering. The top drawing shows off early concepts for the logging site of planet Eudoria. This was one of our first worlds. Our initial goal was to create a forest city. It changed drastically during production. Yeah, you can tell. The bomb sketch shows off peaceful structures from the bomb factory on planet Hoven. Generator concepts for Gordia City on planet Ultanus. Because the city is plagued by lightning storms, the inhabitants use the generators to attract the lightning and convert it into useful energy. I mean, why not, right? Unfortunately, Drek wants the generators for his new planets, and the citizens don't stand a chance. Until Ratchet and Clank pop onto the scene. One of the first levels we prototyped was Metropolis on planet Kerwan. We wanted lots of greenery built into the retro sci-fi buildings to create a unique contrast. We ended up removing most of the bronze caps, though, because they began to clash with the rest of the city. Good call. This world was one of the first big ones we built and almost started a war between the designers and the artists. Yeah, sounds about right. It's the same with, architectures and engineers. They're like, our architects are like, it looks beautiful. Engineers are like, that's not how that works. So, this is the first concept for Qwark's HQ on planet Umbris. We removed the lightning rods after we realized they made the central structure look too small. I guess it does. The general idea for Qwark's HQ was that it should be very reminiscent of a World War II battlefield, replete with bunkers, machine guns, and barbed wire for the training course and everything like that. I'm glad they were able to change it, because sometimes people will work a game for so long, and they love their baby too much that they're afraid to change the design or kill it. You know what they say? Was it they say with artists, don't be afraid to kill your creation or something like that for the story? Here's a building study for one of the structures near Qwark's trailer in Blackwater City. We ended up modifying it significantly through the final and the final results is a bit different. Let's see. This is a good example of the palette studies we created for every world. This one was Fort Krontos on planet Batalia. We ended up changing the weather from a sunny day to a rainstorm, but the color palette didn't vary much from this painting. I'm kind of glad this game, well, old games used to have stuff like this where you got some behind the scenes stuff on the game. Most games don't do that anymore. You either have to buy something for it or they just don't add it to the game. So I like when games add this behind the scenes stuff, you know, like a director's cut of a DVD or whatever. So oh, I guess there's more. Okay, well, anyway, let's see. 2 examples of the character sheets we use to model the enemies in the game. The top is the Blarg trooper while the Blarg commander is on the bottom. So straightforward. Ooh, that was cool. I like the art concept art for that. We love our robots. These are some of the many head designs we created for the robot troops who fight Ratchet. And if you look closely, you can pick out our animation director and our lead character designer. Well, that's probably the ones on the top there. That's usually, hey, why not? I mean, I'm not completely against self-inserts as long as they're not like the main character. As long as they're like maybe some funny side character or an enemy you killed, then it's fine. Here's Ratchet's first ship. Too bad he wrecks it so early in the game. We wanted it to be a real homemade job, held together by chewing gum and wire. We still can't agree on exactly why he crashed it on planet Nivalis. Oh yeah, like, you think he would have been more sad about the losing his ship he put together, but no, it's just kind of like, oh, let's continue on. Finished sketches for Qwark's ship and the courier ship that Ratchet and Clank acquire. The idea was that the courier ship would be a slow, clunky, durable vehicle, kind of like a mail truck. Yeah, I could see that. Qwark's ship, on the other hand, was designed as a luxury craft. Not too fast either, but stylish and comfortable. Like, you know, most rich people would put in. This is the original sketch for the Blarg fighter that Ratchet and Clank pick up on Gremlin base. We were going for a sleek but deadly. Kind of like a stealth bomber or something. Many of the enemies in the game's pilot vehicles. This one turned into a helicopter piloted by a Blarg commander in Metropolis. He's a nasty one. And he dies to the Devastator like everyone else. The grind boots, mine gloves, and what originally was the defense drone glove. We changed the way the defense drones worked midway through the product, so we no longer needed that glove. Yeah, it's kind of another case, kind of sad to design something for like months to weeks to maybe even years, and then you're like, yeah, we're not using it. And you're like, ah. Here's one of our concepts for Giant Clank. Unfortunately, the huge shoulder-mounted guns didn't make it in because they just weren't practical, but we did manage to keep Ratchet on Clank's back. Yeah, just like a Godzilla or King Kong situation. Some fun enemy designs. One made it into the game. 4 didn't. Can you pick the winner? The enemy designs, huh? Isn't the one on the bottom with the long neck, maybe? Oh, no, I think it's the worm one, actually. Anyway. The many faces of Big Al. This was the first NPC, non-player character we put into the game. He's probably what most people think game developers look like. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think Big Al comes back a couple times. The original idea for the NPCs were they were just going to be random dudes every time you played a new Ratchet and Clank game, so it wasn't going to be the same person every time. I forgot which game it was. Maybe it was either 3 or something like that, where they started bringing back recurring characters, and then they kind of stuck with that. I kind of like the idea of each planet having its own unique guys, and the universe being so big that you're probably not going to run into the same person over and over again. Although I guess technically we run into the janitor twice in this game, but still. But I don't know. I guess people just like having characters come back for member berries and stuff like that. One of the weapons that went through many iterations on paper was Ratchet's wrench. We didn't want something too generic, plus it had to function as a tool and a weapon at the same time. Yeah, about halfway through the game we stopped using the wrench as a tool for the most part and just used it as a weapon. It's mistakenly called an axe by many, but the label is appropriate in some respects, since you probably wouldn't want to get whacked with it. No siree, would not want to. Designs for the Bizabomb gun, top, and the suck cannon bottom. The suck cannon was one of our first weapons we designed and one of the few where the name stayed this game throughout the development process. It just had such a nice ring to it. Yeah, I kept forgetting to use the suck cannon. It's a good way to save on bolts if you're trying to buy all the gold weapons by the end of the game, so. because then you don't have to buy ammo or wait for a grind for ammo. So the top two designs are the final version of the Hydro Pack. The bomb sketches are designs for the Glove of Doom and the Bomb Glove, and the Glove of Doom is an office favorite. I do like it. I didn't use it as much, but hiring minions to take the damage for you and just blowing up, very nice. Another early version of Ratchet, notice the different proportions, lack of eyebrows and stripes. This was also an early box cover concept. I think I've seen this before outside of the game somewhere, like maybe in a magazine or something like that. The one should look familiar. The cover for the U.S. game box was derived from it. Yeah, that's the one I'm familiar with. But more importantly, it was the first image of Ratchet unveiled to the world in the March 2002. And that's it for that. Okay, so now we have the epilogue. This is what happens after Drek is gone. So, because Commando kind of goes just straight into the adventure for the most part. So, details. Ratchet, the furry mechanic who created a panic. Deadly gadgets. Top 10 gadget ideas for the holiday season. I was on reverse. Racetrack gadgets claim 5 robots. The No Stellar Nosy News. The truth. Is Skid hooked on Nano? Washed up. I'll do anything for a few bolts. Qwark. Candid photos inside. Robot caught in the act. Ratchet's love interest. Shocking news about Drek. The race was fixed. Fitness temps for Qwark's trainer. Bounty hunters at each other's throats. Heavy artillery. Morphoray ends galactic hunger. He had turned everyone to chickens. Gadgets of tomorrow. Latest innovations. Visibomb review. Top 10 weapons. Gadgetron con. Think you can handle the Rhino? Interview. Victims of the Rhino. Upgrades. Learn how to get after market parts at an affordable price. 101 ways to clean your pipes. Apron 135. Popular plumbers. Will plumbers ever be the same? The water worker asks the same question every day. A true story. I save the galaxy from an evil mutated strain of dry rot. I kid you not. Tips to fixing derelict turrets. Hygienator. Zoomerator. Prime. Robot of the Year. An exclusive look on how Clank saved us all. Yeah, Ratchet had nothing to do with it. Reader digested. I can't read the part in the upper left corner. It's too blurred out for me. At least my vision, anyways. I can't do anything without my glasses. How long is your wrench? Which nanotech did you really need? Have you guys noticed, like, I mean, I've noticed, obviously, that the designers of the game are very cheeky when it comes to their humor, and a bit, I wouldn't say raunchy, but they get really close to towing the line, especially with the names, which, you know, obviously the second game and a couple others, but an Amoeboid ate her, and now she's in love. Yeah, I think she got ate. I forgot which, it was the racing plant, but yeah, apparently they end up together. Very nice. The Railguard Times. Rhino, salesman pleads not guilty. Amoeboid attack. Novalis NATO claim his brother turned into a chicken. And I don't know, the dialogue's too blurry. But usually in movies, the dialogue in papers, when the ones they don't show, if you actually read them, are like random clips from like how to make food or fruit of the year or stuff like that. It's just random stuff just to fill in the text. They usually don't expect people to pause it and read it. But Battaglia Chronicles. Igo Gust. 53-54. Lone Commando wins war, or so he says. Reinforcements have arrived. What took them so long? Outpost X11 updates. Hoverboarder. May-June 53-54. Win. The best way to a man's heart is through his ribcage. Z400 sneak peek. Killer combos. Back-breaking moves. Zoomerator stuff. Free stuff. Only for $2.99. Except that's not free. I know that's the joke. How Skid gets his extra altitude. But yeah, definitely a fan of the, of hoverboards, not the lady there. No. Homes and Bunkers, the #1 official guide to the Empress system. Octagus, 76-53-54. Bank seizes Qwark estate. Auction begins now. New sectors, East Umbris, Central Umbris, Winnie Vale, South X6B, Blarg Town, Third Moon, Umbris Station, Qwark District. Quarks, Bolts, 850-970-000.99 estate. Free. Ratchet Clank the motion picture. Well, they did make it, and it didn't do so well. Seriously, actually, I think it lost the company quite a bit of money. I think, because I don't even think it broke even. No one went to go see it. I've seen it like online or something like that, but yeah, I was like, it's because they use modern version of Ratchet in that one, so the whole I want to be a hero instead of I just want to get off this planet. You know, I'm kind of a bit selfish, but I'll eventually grow to be a hero. I like that Ratchet better. I kind of wish they'd go back to that Ratchet. Not completely, obviously, because he needs to have character growth, but they've almost forgotten what he originally was. If you watch later Itinerations, he's no longer rough. He's clean cut, basically the super good guy, which is fine, but that's not how he originally was. And like I said, I kind of wish they made him more rough again. Or we went back, or maybe did a time travel game where he was back to his old self. But they'll never do that, so oh well. Because, I mean, the same people don't work on the game series anymore. It's a completely different group for all intents and purposes. So, well, I mean, it's not even Insomniac. It's some people just took up the, because I think Sony technically owns Ratchet Clank or something like that. So, hot bots. Whoa, should I cut this out? Is this too hot for YouTube? Entertainment for, or whatever platform I put this on. Oils and gears, the best lubrication for your sensitive parts. Top 50 robot actors. Turbo Twins, Helga's workout plan. Oh yeah, I forgot about Helga. CPU overclocks, improves performance and satisfaction. Help Girls shows off her servers. Interview with XVB8 models. Party at the Hotbot Mansion. Tools Express, extend the life of your wrench. Yeah, like I said, these people are towing the line. So, all right, let's watch some of the commercials and then we'll watch the making of, and that'll be it. So, all right, decoy glove ad.
That is Corey. He's helping us with our inflatable decoy test for Ratchet and Clank. Oh, man.
The inflatable decoy, one of 36 weapons and gadgets not fit for this world. Rated T for teen.
Remember when they used to do silly stuff like this? But anyway, let's watch the Devastator ad.
Okay, Pete here is going to try to hit, hold on, that target with the Devastator, a rocket launcher designed for Ratchet and Clank. Oh, man! Oh!
The Devastator, one of 36 weapons and gadgets not fit for this world. Rated T for teen.
Why are they putting the commercial Ratchet or Clank punching people? Okay, whatever. Man, I wish they had game commercials like this anymore. Most game commercials are too clean or like not silly like this anymore. Oh well, whatever. Morph-Array ad. Morph-Array.
That is the Morph-Array, and that, of course, is Jerry. The Morph-Array is used in Ratchet and Clank to turn your enemies into chickens.
No, but wait, before you do that, just explain to me how it's gonna work.
Oh, it worked. Jerry's a chicken. Are you sure we can turn him back?
Jerry?
The Morph-Array, one of 36 weapons and gadgets not fit for this world. Rated T for teen.
Man, they tease you by showing off the rhino at the very end of that thing. So, all right, let's take a look at the making of video on Ratchet Clank, and then I think we'll call it because I don't really have any of the cheats activated. Most of the cheats are like big head mode and stuff like that. But I'll see what I can do about the cheats and everything like that, because I believe. I think I have to do it on the main menu or something like that for that one. So, oh yeah, there's all the items and stuff like that. Oh yeah, it tells you how many gold bolts we found and paid for it, everything like that. So, but anyway, let me show off. Let me show off the making of video, and then I'll see if I can do. I might cut to showing off the cheats as well, but let's show that off, and then we'll go from there.
Prepare to be transported to a brilliant sci-fi universe filled with imaginative characters, high-tech weapons and gadgets, and unprecedented action-packed shooting adventure. Welcome to the brave new world of Ratchet and Clank.
When we started talking about the ideas behind Ratchet and Clank, this character that rockets from planet to planet with weapons and gadgets, well, weapons suddenly jumped to the foreground. Ratchet lives on a backwater planet out in the edges of the galaxy.
He's a tinkerer, loves to put things together and take them apart to see how they work. Very curious.
He's got this really strong thirst for adventure. And lucky for him, he gets to meet Clank, which allows him to travel to new worlds.
And Ratchet and Clank meet each other, but they don't necessarily get along.
Ratchet just wants to go out and blow stuff up and have a good time, and Clank is much more serious about accomplishing his goals.
Showcasing an impressive arsenal of state-of-the-art and radical weapons and gadgets, Ratchet and Clank delivers the future of entertainment here and now.
When you get weapons in this game, there's such immediate gratification. You can go out and blow the crap out of everything.
With the gadgets, we wanted to make sure that there was a lot of different options for the player when they're playing to kind of explore a lot of different ways to kind of cause some havoc and destruction.
There's the Tesla Claw, which shoots a bolt of electricity out, which actually picks characters up and throws them mid-air, and they explode. You've got the Suck Cannon, which allows you to suck characters in and hold them and fire them back out. The Rhino is an acronym for Rip Ya a New One, and you just stand back, fire that thing, and it destroys anything in its way.
I love the pyrocitor. I'm not sure what that says about me, but...
One of the most unique weapons we have is the Visibomb.
It's awfully fun to cruise around the level from the bird's eye view and then target an enemy on the ground and just blow them up.
We were really surprised how quickly Ratchet came together. Ratchet started as this really small, scrappy cat type thing, then kind of a much taller dog-like creature. And what I ended up doing was actually taking these two forms and putting them together, and that's pretty much how we ended up with them.
As artists, we've set a really high standard for what we want to achieve in this game, but it feels really good to know that programmers, the designers, everybody has set equally high standards.
Everybody who comes on board here is excellent at what they do and have really high expectations of delivering excellence.
When someone plays an Insomniac game, they can see anywhere they look in the game, there's an attention to detail, quality, as well as technical performance that is never lacking.
Developed by Insomniac Games, Ratchet & Clank is the development team's first entertainment venture for the PlayStation 2.
We knew we had to come up with something that was going to raise the bar even farther than Spyro had as far as action platformers went. And that's where Ratchet & Clank came from. We're actually expanding the genre. We're trying to break out of what people typically consider the action platformer or character action game genre.
One of the big differences between Spyro and Ratchet is being able to animate this stuff on the PS2.
The single level in this game is probably more art than was in an entire game on one of our PS1 releases.
Every single level of the game, we bring forth something new for the player to do. By the 5th or 6th level of this game, we are up to the complexity of the strongest titles in the category, and there's a lot of levels in this game.
It's a very deep machine. We've written immense amounts of code in assembly language, probably more than 100,000 lines compared to what we did on the PS1. You know, more by a factor of 10.
We can have very rich, detailed environments. We can have lots of enemies attacking you at once with their different behaviors. The AI has become more complex. With faster processor speeds, we can have many ships and planes and vehicles just traveling through to breathe life into the environments.
There's loads and loads of stuff wherever you look. There's detail, there's movement, explosions. It's a busy world.
We're not just creating these environments and expecting them to sit there and expecting people to say, wow, your polygons are so pretty. The point is, it's alive, and there's a lot going on. It's not a static universe, it's an interactive universe, and you interact with it.
This game has a lot of great things: art, technology, design, power from the PlayStation 2, but the best part of it is you get to blow shit up.
With a team of talented designers, programmers, artists, and animators, Insomniac Games raises the bar and delivers another captivating game only for the PlayStation 2.
When I tell people about what I do for a living, like, that's not work. It's fun.
The Insomniacs don't take themselves too seriously, and people love to come to work and just have a good time, and I think that really is shown in our characters.
Look, plumber's crack.
What did you just say?
I said, look, the plumber's back.
All right, wise guy.
We, as a company, are committed to giving our games a lot of humor. We use a little bit more sarcasm, and the humor's a little bit more biting.
With an immense arsenal of gadgets and weapons, innovative gameplay mechanics, an evolving economic system, unparalleled technology, and vibrantly detailed graphics, Ratchet & Clank is a galaxy-stomping, adrenaline-soaked masterpiece.
We've gone out of our way to make this thing the largest, loudest, most active world we could possibly think of.
What Insomniac has done with this game blows my mind every time I see it. Like, I just sit in awe and stare at the visual material and just the all-encompassing feel that this game offers.
There are a lot of things that the players have to do, a lot of things that players have to keep in mind, but when it comes down to it, it's really just about blowing shit up.
Blow up a lot of shit.
Blow up. Blowing shit up.
Ratchet & Clank, coming to a galaxy near you.
Alright, that was a nice little video just from some behind the scenes. I like the final version of it. So the way the cheats work in the game before we call it, and there's an Easter egg I want to show off as well, I'll have to edit it to get to that part, is you have to do, after beating the game and beating Drek and having the cheats menu unlocked, to unlock cheats you actually have to do unique things in the game, to like a unique set of combos to get that to work. So let me see if I can do some of them on screen. So oh, whoops, I think I did that wrong, because you're supposed to, okay, let's try it again. So flip back, hyper strike, comet strike, double jump, hyper strike, left flip, right flip. There we go. Okay, so that's big head mode for Clank, as you can see right there. Okay, so big head for enemies. Okay, I think I need to have, yeah, I have to have the helicopter ability for that. So to do big headed for enemies, you need to have the extended jump, which is you just jump forward. Actually, I think I could do the, I might cut to when I go to back and after I beat Drek and show off some of them. But anyway, for big head mode, you need a stretch jump, which is basically holding R1 and move it forward, and the helicopter or hover pack will go forward. But then when you do that, you need to flip back 3 times, and then you need to stretch jump again, then flip back 3 times. Whoops. Well, then stretch jump again, flip back 3 times, and then crouch for a full second, and that'll unlock big head mode for enemies. Okay, big head mode for NPCs. Those are the random people you run across throughout the game that you talk to. So that would need to flip left, flip right, flip back 3 times, and then comet strike, and then double jump, comet strike, and then hyper strike. I might have not done that right. Let me back up a bit, give myself a bit more room. Okay, flip left, right, 1, 2, 3, flips, double strike, comet strike, and then it might be I only have to do it once. Let me see if I can try it again. So actually, let's see, goodies. Let's turn that one off. Okay, let's try that again. So well, it's supposed to do that. That's what. Like I said, I don't remember all the cheats. I had to look up a guide for this one. So that one doesn't work. There's supposed to be a different version. Let's see. Let's try that one. See if that one works. Left, right, flip, flip, comet, double strike, comet. Oops. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just trying to. This one. The difference is flip back twice on this one, so oh, I messed that up, sorry. There we go. Okay, that's the. So it's either the 2 or 3. I think it depends on which version of the game you've got. That's the big head mode for NPCs. So on this version I'm playing anyway. It might be different on like the European version or something like that. So okay, let's do the Ratchet one. So backflip 3 times. 1,000. Stretch jump, which I don't have that. And then a full second glide, which I don't have the rocket pack. The glide is when you hold down the R1 and you start hovering with the rocket pack. That's supposed to get big mode for Ratchet. And then invincibility. This is when you have to collect certain blue balls in the level to do this, but I'll show you what you're supposed to do to get that cheat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Flip back, full second crouch, backflip, full second crouch. There you go, there's that one. Let me show that off really quick. So health gives invincibility at max. So we'll actors have oversized craniums. That's funny. Okay, so let's see. Let's do mirrored levels now. So left 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Hyper strike. Flip right. Double jump. Flip right. Double jump, and then crouch. I might mess that up. I might not give myself enough room. Let's try that again. Yeah, I hate when the camera sometimes fights me on this. So, let's try the other code first before, because there's some of these have various different versions of code. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, see what happened? The level flipped. That kind of threw me off for a second. I was like, whoa. All right, so let's turn that one off. I don't like mirrored levels, so that's how you mirror flip. Okay, and then, I might not be able to do this one here. You have to wall jump like 10 times to do this one. I'm trying to think if there's a good like wall jump in this. I don't think there is actually. We're still at the beginning of the game because I restarted the game, so I don't think I have any good wall jump opportunities. But basically what this is trippy contrails, which is basically when you rail slide, it's supposed to leave an effect. So, yeah, I don't think this is a good level for it. I may have to just play later in the game to a point where I can show it off, since I don't have the backpack or whatever. Actually, let's see if, actually, I think this room up ahead had a double jump, if I recall. Maybe I can be able to show it off here. The only problem is there's no rail grinding right here, so I can't really show that off. How was like around here? Oh, there it is. Okay. So you have to wall jump 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then double jump. Oops. And then double jump. There we go. Unfortunately, like I said, I can't really show that off here just because I don't have. Yeah, trippy contrails, but it's basically just a line appears next to you when rail grinding. I think that's it. There are some like debug like versions of the game where you can pause the game and press L1 and R2, and there's supposed to be a way to debug the game, and you're supposed to put in some codes, but I don't really want to mess with that. So okay, so I'm gonna show one more Easter egg, and then we'll call it an episode. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I went back to the Rilgar fighting arena. Yeah, this is what people with the big heads are if you have big heads on NPCs. So let's turn that off really quick. So, just because it's coming, and the weird levels, because that was kind of really throwing me off. So this is a random Easter egg. I don't know sure how you're supposed to figure this out, but if you start doing flips in front of the, hoverboard lady, can you notice something different about her? Are you sure? There's 2 big things that are going on with this lady. Are you sure you can't notice it? Nothing at all. Nothing happening? Nothing in the certain area? Nothing in the front? Nothing in the back? Yeah, so if it is obvious, her chest grows every time you, for whatever reason, when you do flips in front of her, they just do an expando mod or whatever, or not expando mod, but they just balloon up her lovely lady fronts, if you know what I mean. So it's just something silly. I think it's called just inflatable racing girl or whatever. If I remember when I looked it up, because I had to look it up because I'd forgotten about this a long time. I forgot where I first learned of it, but yeah, inflatable race woman. So, all right, so that's it for Ratchet & Clank. That's all the goodies, side stuff you can do with it. I mean, there might be some other minor stuff in the between, like I said, the debugging stuff, but I didn't want to mess with that. And some other maybe like minor details, like certain glitches, but I'm not in here to do glitch runs and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's it for Ratchet & Clank. Everything's 100%. So. Next time you see me, at least when it comes to this game, maybe we'll do Going Commando, which is the sequel. I probably won't do it immediately. I'll probably go on to other things. But for those who watch this, I hope you enjoyed it. It was great fun, nice playthrough, and I loved listening to music as well. And it was just a fun. I always saw these games as like a Saturday morning cartoon type of style, and that's why I enjoyed them so much. But anyway, we're gonna leave it there. So let's just enjoy our creation and kind of go from there. So say cheese. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.